Still Mills, what's the Dizzle, man? Checking back in with y'all, man. Heading to Fall City, Nebraska for this one-man route on my job. But I never got to talk about the Canelo fight from last week. So I want to get into that, man. And I want to start by saying I get it. I get people's beef with it and all that. I get it. Homie never should have been elevated to mandatory. He never should have been mandated. That was some goofy shit, and even Mauricio Suleiman has apologized for allowing that atrocity to go down. I mean, 2 years off, 2 years absent of the ring. The last dude you want to get back in with is Canelo Alvarez. 2 years off, the last thing you want to do is get back in with a contender. Nah, man. And his last fight before that was with Anthony Durrell, and he put up a really good fight. He has an argument that he won that fight before it was stopped. But we didn't see that from him last week. We didn't see that. We saw a dude who was gun shy. We saw a dude who was gun shy, and the minute he tapped back into actually his fighting identity was, he got punished for it. He let go one big meaningful right hand, and he got slipped, and he called a devilish uppercut. He tried, bro. He tried. He valiantly tried, man. For that one instant, and then for the rest of the fight, he was just a heavy bag. You know, in San Diego for Canelo Alvarez, man. He should have never been mandated to fight, bro. He should have never, ever. It shouldn't even have been considered. They wrong his two left feet for doing that. I understand people's beef with it. I do. It's plausible. Y'all have an argument. Y'all have every right to be in y'all feelings. I somewhat understand, but oh man, he's running from one division to go to another division. Who says the 160-pound division is more stacked than the 68-pound division? That's what I want to know. His hitter's at 168 pounds. I don't agree with that notion. People are saying that he's running from 160 to go to 168 because Charlo and Andrade is down there. Nah, son. That ain't the move at all, man. But despite that, I understand why people feel some type of way about it. I get it. I get why people are mad. On the flip side, am I mad about the fight? Absolutely not. And here's why. The dude just fought in December, late December, fought the champion, the most accomplished champion in the division. Do I think he was the best champion in the division? No, I don't. I don't think he's better than Caleb Plant, David Benavidez. I don't. I real life don't. And his fight before he fought Canelo with John Ryder was extremely questionable. Extremely questionable. So, do I believe he was the best in the division? No, but was he the most accomplished? It's not even a question. Yes, he was. Was he a bum? Fuck no. Fuck no, he wasn't a bum. He's not a bum. He's gonna give damn near anybody a fight. He's gonna give damn near everybody in that division a fight. Everybody, especially after this fight. Especially after his fight with Canelo. He gained a lot of experience, and I bet you now the jab will be the sharpest weapon in his toolbox in his next fight. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. But I wasn't mad at the fight because, you know, just a little over a month later, you in the ring again. 2 fights in a 2-month time span, that's uncommon for a superstar boxer. That's highly uncommon. If it sounds like I'm crying, it's because the roads is doing this. So bear with me. But it's highly uncommon for a fighter to fight twice who's up Canelo Alvarez in stature. it just doesn't happen. So for him to make it, for him to go out and make that happen, that's a dope thing. That's a dope thing. I mean, and he took, you know, all right, cool. Let me get a light touch. I don't want to wait. I don't want to fight in December and then wait clear until May to have another fight. Let me get a little fight in between there, so I can stay somewhat sharp, as sharp as I can possibly be due to the opposition in front of me. You dig? So I'm not mad at it. I wasn't mad at it. I'm like, yo, he's a mandatory. That's the problem y'all supposed to take up with the WBC or whatever sanctioning body it was that mandated him to be the mandatory. Y'all take that up with them. I mean, Canelo hey, he's my mandatory. Did he deserve to fight? Hell the fuck no. But nonetheless, he's a mandatory. And not to mention, after that fight, immediately after that fight was over, they announced a real fight with him and Billy Joe Saunders. So I'm not mad at him taking an easy touch with Avni Yildrim. I wasn't mad at that. I wasn't mad at that at all. I personally thought that it was smart. It was smart. I mean, look at now. Tyson Fury is complaining about him he's complaining about not being able to get a fight before he goes and faces off with Anthony Joshua. Joshua went and fought a credible heavyweight just his last fight. So he's a lot sharper than, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury ain't fought in well over a year. And now he's about to go up there and fight with a unified heavyweight champion for undisputed. Saying, man, I'm not mad at Canelo for doing that. I wasn't mad at it at all. I do understand, people's beef with it, but I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it. It's plausible. I'm about to go and fight this dude. Let me stay sharp. And given the fact that Billy Joe Saunders' style has historically given Canelo issues and headaches, I need to, that's more reason for me to get in the ring and, you know what I'm saying, sharp, stay as sharp as I possibly can before I go and I have to deal with this motherfucker. If he gets through Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant is next, and they both have the styles that is going to give him the most problems. I've been saying for years, Plant, Saunders, Andrade give him the biggest issues because of the style. Because of the fleet-footedness, because of the slickness, the elusiveness, and the ability to jab and tap dance from the outside and walk you in the counter, not counters but traps. So yeah, I get it. He's supposed to want to stay sharp. He's supposed to. So I was never mad at that fight, man. I was never mad at him going and fighting Avni Yildrim. I wasn't, and I'm still not. I'm still not. But I just, speaking of, slickness, I was actually on once again one of these forums just 2 nights ago, and I had a dude tell me Andrade is slicker than Canelo. And I'm just like, man, it's one thing to be, you can not be a fan of a motherfucker but still be objective to what it is that you're seeing. Andrade ain't as nearly as slick as no goddamn Canelo. Being fleet-footed and light on your feet from the outside isn't the same as being slick and as slick as, because I mean the thing is, Andrade is slick, but he's been clipped by far less opposition than a Canelo Alvarez. Vanes Matarosa put him on his ass. And that man ain't known as no big puncher. He dropped him. And is yet to step in the ring with a credible opponent that can say, oh, yo, now that's official. That nigga's slick because he's testing it against opposition that will contradict his slickness. We haven't seen Andrade in a fight where it's like, man, I don't know, man. He could lose this fight. We haven't seen that. We've seen that with Canelo multiple times. He's tested his slickness. he's battled. He's declarated. He's declarated. He's tested that shit against opposition. I would say, I don't know. Golovkin, prime example. Lara, prime example. Cotto, prime example. He sharpened his steel with you know what I'm saying, the best out there, the best opposition possible. Floyd, he got the most game he would possibly ask for in Floyd, in that massacre that Floyd put on. So I'm saying, man, nah. The Canelo hate eventually, it has to stop, you know. Be irritated, but also be objective. I don't mind that. I don't mind when it's someone who's like, I don't fuck with that nigga, but that's a bad motherfucker. I don't mind that. But you just gonna go out just because you don't like the moves that his team has been making over the past, I don't know how many years that he's been in the position that he's in. All that shit is going to play a factor on what it is that you can see with your own two eyes. So Demetrius Andrade is slicker than Canelo Alvarez because you don't like the fact that he put out, you know, that Oscar put rehydration clauses on motherfuckers and catch weights on motherfuckers. That's goofy. That's goofy as all hell. And with that being said and done, the fact that he's about to get in here and run that fade with a slickster as Billy Joe Saunders, if he dogs walk Saunders, I don't want to hear shit else. I don't want to hear shit else. I really don't. I don't. And you know, people keep trying to use the Amir Khan situation. I mean, granted, Amir Khan gave him problems early on in the fight. For one, the fight only went 6 rounds. For 2, he only gave him problems for the first 3 rounds. He started getting broken down to the body in like the 3rd round. You seen that visibly on his body. That man's body was marked up. He had bruises on his body. Canelo countering to the body. His speed and his footwork and his lateral movement kept Canelo off balance for 3 rounds. His 12 rounds in a fight. And by the time the 4th and the 5th came around, he wasn't as light on his feet because he started feeling them body shots. So don't sit here and talk, oh, historic big gives him problems. Look at what Amir Khan was able to do to him for 3 rounds. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, on average, that's usually about the amount of time it takes for an opponent to really study you, and gauge your timing, and gauge his distance, and get down your punch patterns, and you know, just the little things that you do in the ring that gives you success. He begins to compute all of that shit, and it's gonna take, it takes Bud a few rounds to get acclimated to his opponent in most situations. That's standard time. That's standard time. And they keep, they keep bringing up Lara. It would be special. He would trap Lara on the ropes, and he would throw 4 and 5 punch combinations to the body. Lara spinning off of the rope, off of the 1-2. Check right hook, spin out. Get back mid-ring, measure him with the 1, launch the 2. Alright, cool. Canelo trap you on the rope again. I'm going to launch 4, 5, and 6 punch combinations to the body. You're not going to win that fight. I think Lara landed the more effective punches in the fight as far as the more noticeable punches. But Canelo was throwing, he threw to the body. You're not going to win a fight like that against the Canelo Alvarez. And I do think Lara won the fight. I do. But it's understandable why they gave that shit to Canelo. You know, his feet are not the fastest feet. He doesn't have the feet of a Saunders. He doesn't have the feet of a Caleb Plant, Terrence Crawford. I've said this before. He doesn't. But he's not lead-footed neither. He's not. He's cutting the ring off. He's finding himself in punching position to get his shots off. He doesn't. I mean, it would be dope for him to be graceful on his feet. That would be dope. You ain't finna see Canelo cutting angles like that. You're not. You're not. But you're gonna see him get into position of where he's in range for him and out of range for you. That's what you're gonna see from Canelo. That's the footwork that you get out of Canelo Alvarez. So I just want people to get out of this mindset that the nigga is, he has this it's like borderline impossible for him to deal with fleet-footed fighters, and it's not. All the fleet-footed fighters he fought, he beat. He beat him. He beat him. I thought Lara won the fight, but I see why Canelo won the fight. Danny Jacobs, I mean, the dude just wasn't on Canelo's level. I don't know if it was just that night or what, I don't know, but just in that fight, he had no answer for Canelo. So I just really want people to get out of that notion, man. And if he does, and the fact that he's about to go and fight Saunders, who is, you know, I seen the dude say, oh, he wanted Saunders to fight Andrade. We all did. Shit happens. Shit happens, man. I mean, I don't know. I do, you know, shame on Saunders for having, you know, going through all, you know, popping dirty and everything. That shit is whack, but look where they got him eventually. Now he's finna fight the face of the sport. And I like his chances better due to the opposition. And I think him and Andrade is a real good fight. But you can't be mad at Canelo for going to, he's more proven. Like, this is what I don't get. He's more proven. This is the Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney to go fight Teofimo Lopez. How? When Teofimo was more proven. Billy Joe Saunders is more proven than Andrade and fucking Charlo. He's not. I'ma duck them niggas and go and fight a motherfucker whose style contradicts my own. With the, you know, with the fleet-footedness, I'm gonna duck them to go fight him. That just doesn't make sense. People they throw this ducking shit around entirely too much, and it's goofy, man. So like I said, man, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at people have. I understand why people had their reserves about Canelo Alvarez and the Avani Yildrim debacle that went down last week. I get it. I wholeheartedly get it. It just, you know, he should have just never been in the ring. He should have never even been in. I mean, the dude went back to his. Joel Diaz was like, you got one more round to show me something. Otherwise, I'm dead in all this shit. That nigga, usually, you know, the warrior spirit of reserving, nah, man, let me get one more round. When Lamont Peterson got stopped by Earl Spence Jr., he let it be known that, coach, if you want me, I'm not stopping if you don't stop it. I can't allow me, I'm not about to sit here and tell you, yeah, stop the fight. I'm not telling you that. You dig? My pride is on the line. I don't give a fuck how bad I'm losing. I'll die in this ring. I'll die in this ring. That's a warrior spirit right there, man. And that usually resonates when your coach threatens to throw in the towel for you. Avani Yildrim looked like a deer in the head. Y'all remember the Bobby, the New Edition story that aired on BET? And Bobby Brown, for the first time when he performed in front of the projects, how he was just stage struck, like, oh shit, what am I supposed? That's how he looked when he went back to his corner on that stool. He was like, bro, just the look in his face said it all. He wasn't ready. He didn't belong there. He did not belong there. He did not belong there. And they did right by stopping by stopping that shit. They did right by stopping that shit, man. So I mean, they need to do better with who they mandate as mandatories. You dig? It's entertaining at the end of the day, yeah, but also, you know, these fighters' health is on the line, and you have to take that. You have to look out for the fighter. The fighter's always, he's gonna want to get paid, and he, you know, in his head, I got a chance with this nigga. It's something that I see. It's a flaw that I see in him that. Even though I may not be able to exploit it, but I see it, and the right motherfucker could exploit it. And I don't want to miss my opportunity on being that right motherfucker. So a fighter is always going to be on that, and that's why it's up to you to save the fighters from themselves. So before y'all, you know, really look into that. Really look into that. Look for the most credible cats who is doing the damage, who's doing damage to the, you know, the fighters outside of the top 10. That may, and say, all right, you're on your way to a title shot. Virgil Ortiz is still, you're on your way to a title shot. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Look at how he's eradicating the competition. Jaron Ennis is looking like he's going to be on his way as well. Look at how he's doing against the competition that he's in front of. So I'm not mad at it. That fight, you know, it kept him sharp for Billy Joe Saunders. I'm not mad at it, but I do understand why people are mad at it. And for that, you know, it is what it is, man. And there's two sides to every story. I'm transparent, but after this fight, if Canelo beats Billy Joe Saunders, all that slick shit, oh man, he has problems with slicksters and he's a southpaw. I don't want to hear nothing else. If he beats Billy Joe Saunders, because this is going to be a fight in May. This is going to be a fight. So, like and subscribe, man. I'm out. Peace.